Mustafa is a British entrepreneur, activist, and most notably the co-founder and head of applied AI at DeepMind. And DeepMind is an artificial intelligence company, obviously acquired by Google/Alphabet. Probably one of the finest and best examples of what's happening in AI today. At 19, Mustafa dropped out of Oxford. Well, I couldn't get into Oxford. How do you drop out of Oxford? And then later co-founded DeepMind Technologies, a leading AI company, and became its chief product officer. DeepMind was bought by Google in 2014. He became the head of applied AI at DeepMind. So we're talking about one of the best AI minds really in the world. DeepMind famously beat the Go world champion in 2016. Have any of you ever played Go? Like, this is an unplayable thing, right? It's ridiculous. DeepMind beat the Go world champion in 2016, and that champion last year, at the end of last year in December, retired from the game, saying, "I can never beat DeepMind's system, so I give up." That DeepMind system is now called AlphaGo Zero. So I guess if that's your world, is like being the best at Go, and you can never be the best at Go again, it's probably time to retire. I'm not sure what he's doing, but sadly he's not playing Go anymore. Okay, in 2016, Mustafa launched DeepMind Health at the Royal Society of Medicine, and also partnered with healthcare organizations in the UK on research collaborations to focus AI and its algorithms to issues like eye disease, head and neck cancer, mammography, right? Really, really important things that are now saving lives. This is technology being applied to save lives in the future by learning what happened in the past. He led an effort to apply DeepMind's machine learning algorithms to help reduce the energy required to cool Google's data centers. That's pretty crazy. Went back in time, looked at all the data over the last decade, literally billions of points of data. The system discovered novel methods of cooling the data centers, leading to a reduction of as much as 40% of the amount of energy used for cooling, and a 15% improvement in the building's overall energy efficiency. That's a great use for AI. That's what this gentleman is doing. So Mustafa is prominent in the debate. This is a whole separate topic, but it's very cool. In the debate over the ethics of AI and technology, and has spoken widely about the need for holding technologists accountable for the impacts of their work. Technologists accountable for the impacts of our work. Because we haven't been accountable to date. We come up with real cool things like Facebook, and then we just let it run wild, and we see what happens as an experiment on society. And we know what's happening, actually, right? It's splitting society. So we never thought that these things would do that. And now we have to step back and say, what are the ethics of all of our technologies? Advocated for redesigning incentives in the technology industry to steer business leaders towards prioritizing social responsibility alongside of their fiduciary responsibilities. We've never done that before. It's very, very, very interesting. Within DeepMind, he set up a research unit called DeepMind Ethics and Society to study the real-world impacts of AI and help technologists put ethics into practice. And lastly, he's the founding co-chair of the Partnership on AI, an organization that includes representatives from all the major companies working on major AI initiatives: Amazon, Apple, DeepMind, Facebook, Google, IBM, Microsoft, etc. The organization studies and formulates best practices on AI technologies, advances the public's understanding of AI, and serves as an open platform for discussion and engagement about AI and how it affects people and society. I want to jump to a short video here on Mustafa. Do we have that? Can we launch that? Let's see.
So humanity took 2,000 years to get as good as it possibly could at Go, and your algorithm took 4 hours to beat the world's best player.
That's right. I mean, it's pretty striking. I mean, just to kind of rein that in a little bit, unfortunately, we can't quite yet use those sorts of methods in the real world. So the particular characteristics of the training environment that we had for Go are fairly unique in that we can define the rules very clearly, and we know exactly what success or reward looks like. In the real world, it's actually very, very difficult to define your problem in a similar kind of way, and you can't train your algorithms through self-play.
So one reads about, social media addiction in teenagers, and one knows that some of these social media platforms are designed indeed to encourage addiction. So what do we need in terms of our capacity to understand technology and what it can do to us?
Yeah, I mean, I think some of the literature, analysing the kind of social mechanic, the sticky or viral addictive mechanics of liking and sharing, these are clearly incentivized to drive more watch time and incentivize us to spend more time on the platform. And those are incredibly good things. We generate enormous utility from being able to see that a video that we watch is similar to the one that we have previously seen. So it's not to say that the underlying mechanic is broken in its own right. It's just that it needs to move to the next stage of evolution. We need to know where in the filter bubble we currently sit. It's clearly not healthy to only see information and knowledge of a particular kind. And so we need different kinds of representations that help us to understand where we are on that multidimensional continuum of information access. And now I think good intentions are no longer good enough. We have to do much more to regain the public's trust. We must take responsibility for the ethical implications of our work, anticipating the challenges at the start of a project's life cycle instead of grappling with them midway through or worse, after the fact.